Hi everyone, here is Team 14 presenting you the Speedy Strategy Analysis. Everything you need in your hands 15 minutes. That is Speedy. First of all, let's look at where Speedy stands in the market using the SWOT analysis. Strengths. Speedy's distinctive competency is its hyperlocality and convenience at the odd hours, providing students their late-night cravings and emergency essentials needs fast and cost-effectively. Compared to a vending machine that satisfies similar needs, Speedy has better pricing to attract and retain its customers. Besides, Speedy is founded by UNC alumni and run by students. Speedy has a great understanding of its peers' demands in its highly connected community. Therefore, it can tailor its offerings accordingly. What's more, the warehouse on the Franklin enables Speedy to facilitate its retrieval and dispatch. By using bicycles, Speedy drivers effectively avoided the traffic and could just go through the campus for delivery. With this warehouse-based fulfillment arrangement, Speedy is ultra-fast compared to its competitors. Talking about weaknesses, inconsistencies of dispatch efficiency and 15-minute delivery is a concern. Especially during the peak hours, managing inventory and fulfilling the orders is challenging for Speedy. While Speedy is known in the North Carolina region, it has limited brand recognition nationally. And compared to Uber Eats or DoorDash, Speedy has relatively more financial, technological, and also infrastructural constraints for scaling up. The opportunities Speedy could capture include capitalizing on the Gen Z's e-commerce shopping habits, utilizing the delivery technology advancements, and aligning with the regulatory support for small businesses in North Carolina. According to reports, over 90% of the college students now shop their foods, groceries, etc. on the digital platforms. Therefore, it shows a great potential for Speedy to generate high revenues and profits from those college students. In addition, AI can be used to optimize the routes and boost the supply chain efficiency for Speedy. And also like the NC State's government, they are actually providing a tax breaks, financial assistance, and loan programs for small businesses to compete with the larger national ones. Therefore, Speedy can actually consider generating funds from the NC government and scale it up to compete. Last but not least, fewer stress still exists for Speedy. The market competition with national delivery brands like Uber Eats, DoorDash are inevitable. And also vending machine and home-made foods or some substitutes for it. In addition, the delivery policies and the transportation laws may increase the regulatory and legal risks for Speedy. Furthermore, the rising trends in the healthy living, money saving, and conscious spending might discourage the impulse purchases and snack purchases during the odd hours, making Speedy more hard to manage its inputs and inventory.
So moving on to our Porter's 5 forces analysis, we found that the threat of substitutes and buyer power are the most important forces at play to keep in mind for analyzing Speedy's industry. So starting at the threat of new entrants, we found this to be relatively medium because while there are kind of low capital requirements for these operations to exist, there's also the threat of being able to differentiate and being able to surpass Speedy as this first mover in the space. Moving on to the power of suppliers, we found this to be relatively low because there's many accessible inputs from manufacturers, which lets you have a lot of different choices and not being subject to the prices of any one manufacturer. Additionally, technology providers have pretty low power because it's relatively simple features that an app like Speedy needs. So there's a lot of different options for that. Then going to the power of buyers, I found this to be pretty high because having a lot of student users mean that they're all very price sensitive. So any changes in costs or fees are going to dissuade users from using Speedy and persuade them to use other options. And also there's pretty low switching costs. Being able to switch between apps, different services, or alternatives also gives these buyers a pretty high power. Then threat of substitutes, we also found this to be high because there's just a lot of different options like traditional food delivery options, for example, DoorDash, Uber Eats, and high competition from these national delivery giants like even Walmart or Amazon. Then there's also things like picking up and drive through yourself, vending machines, and the list goes on. Finally, the competitive rivalry we found to be high because there's pretty high pressure to differentiate and innovate. If Speedy just stays and doesn't do anything or innovate, they're going to get likely surpassed by a lot of these giants that can emulate their own business model with likely fewer resources.
Now we'll go through some strategic options we considered, but not the big ones. First, cosmetic product offerings is an option. Students aged between 18 to 24 spend about $2,000 per year on hair, skincare, and makeup products, and over 60% of students wear makeup daily. Therefore, we believe the benefit of this choice includes a high demand in the market with higher average order value and profit margin due to the cosmetic products characteristics. Besides, we can not only expand the market to the new demographics, but also enhance the current customers' loyalty, especially on those who have the demand in the cosmetic products. However, the concerns includes the difficulty in satisfying the diverse makeup demands, as people might have their preferences in the brands or colors. Moreover, the inventory cost will be higher compared to snacks, and the competition with existing sellers like Sephora might make Speedy really hard to be profitable. The second option we thought about is the Speedy use lines to do a national campus expansion. Speedy could scope out college campuses where the food desert exists, such as U Florida and Cornell, where students barely go to the shop to buy the food just because of the distances. This strategy will help Speedy to increase its revenues, enhance its brand image, and grow a national footprint. Most importantly, the use lines will help Speedy to differentiate from other delivery companies to be a university partner in the customer's mind. Nevertheless, high investment costs initially and the seasonal demand are the realistic problems we have to face, and the franchise-like business model needs more navigation and localized marketing efforts to make it practical.
Yeah, so our third strategic option was starting order pickup and drop off service. So this is exactly like what DoorDash and Uber Eats do, and this would kind of take market share from those giants. Speedy can become for us, Franklin restaurants go-to delivery service. And the Speedies could leverage their main core competency of like being hyper local and using bikes. And so they're not hindered by traffic. They're not hindered by traffic, meaning they can deliver faster, and they also have better range on the campus. Bikes can go where cars cannot. So thinking about places like the Pit or thinking about places like the Poke Place. Some downsides to this idea is that this would deviate from Speedy's core model of delivering things that they keep in warehouse. So they would actually have to go somewhere and pick it up and then drop it off. They're also limited to servicing restaurants only on Franklin Street since they're on bikes. And also this could present potentially complex logistics problems between coordinating between the users, restaurants, and the delivery bikers. Our fourth idea was uh, UNC partnering with kind of UNC basketball or Speedy partnering with UNC basketball, and it's kind of similar to what Crumble Cookie does at basketball games, here home games. This could be a massive brand image boost and a lot of exposure for Speedy and get a lot of eyes onto Speedy. Spend so many people watch basketball, especially students, and also kind of goes along with the theme of UNC camaraderie. Since Speedy is UNC born, downside is this would potentially be very expensive and logistically challenging. And our last idea is kind of a Speedy utilizing AI-powered inventory and routing systems. This would directly tackle a pain point that Speedy has expressed about diminishing efficiency during peak hours. This would save money on by identifying products that are unpopular and would reduce the need to put products on clearance since they're unpopular. And also, an AI-powered routing system would mean just more efficient use of delivery people's time and energy, and also better usage of delivery bikes. Downsides could be that it can be difficult and expensive to build this in-house, or if they purchase this as a software as a service, still very expensive. And also, if Speedy does not scale, like the marginal like added value might be slim of such a such a new system. And also, at the end of the day, the drivers are determine efficiency. Planning could be flawless, but if the execution is not, then like it's kind of useless.
Moving on to our final strategic recommendations for Speedy. Our first recommendation for Speedy is to implement a parcel return service. As we continue to expand Speedy's reach to improve the convenience of their offerings, this new addition aligns perfectly with the mission to provide quick, reliable, and hassle-free solutions for students. Returning packages is a pain for students, and students are often disincentivized to commit to purchasing items online in order to prevent the headache and cost of potential returns they would have to make. With the nearest drop-off warehouse being a drive away from campus, students are often left with very limited and often expensive options to claim that refund on their online purchases. Convenience and affordability is key for college students and is the heart of Speedy's brand. Hence why expanding Speedy to provide the service for students to hand over packages they wish to return either directly to the warehouse on Franklin and other convenient location on any college campus, or to a Speedy biker outside of their dorm is a valuable solution to a common problem college students have. For a small delivery fee, students can take part in a service that handles the entire return process for them. By introducing this parcel return pickup service, Speedy can now cater to a new segment of customers. This will expand its consumer base beyond just food and snacks, moving Speedy into a world of convenience and quick service logistics for students. It also opens a door for increased revenues as customers who may not have used Speedy for its food and snack services, but are more likely now to use Speedy for their return needs. With this strategic recommendation comes some pushback and concerns. One being that Speedy has an established image of a food and snack delivery company, not a logistics convenience service. So to overcome this, Speedy should position itself as a company that offers a wide range of convenient and reliable services. From late night snack deliveries to quick returns from your dorm, Speedy can reinforce that convenience is the heart of everything that they do. Another concern could be the potential cost of partnering with warehouse return services. However, Speedy can mitigate those challenges by negotiating shipping discounts and bulk rates with their partners using the economies of scale. This strategy is a game changer for Speedy, allowing them to enter a new market segment and create more touch points with students. Speedy is already known for making things quick and easy. Now they can take that further by handling more aspects of students' daily lives, providing students with a one-stop shop for all their convenient needs. The parcel return pickup service represents a huge opportunity for Speedy, not only to increase its revenue, but also to improve customer satisfaction by offering a solution that simplifies their lives for food and drink and also for return package.
So our next and best final recommendation is something we call Speedy Stand. Speedy Stand would be a convenience and food kind of pop-up shop on the Manning intersection around the times from like 2 p.m., 10 p.m. to 2 to 3 a.m. on Thursday or Sunday. Manning intersection because it's a very prime location that's kind of very central to the 6,000 out of the 9,000 on-campus residents. Covers all the high rises and the Rams apartments. And also this is during a popular going out time. In a relatively food desert area. We know, and everyone knows that South Campus is quite a food desert. And so Speedy, by selling snacks and simple warm foods that you would find in convenience stores, could kind of alleviate that. A Speedy stand would also act as passive marketing, especially to the majority of freshmen that live on South Campus. And also freshmen have the highest customer lifetime value. And what that essentially means is that a student that learns about Speedy, the sooner in their college career, the better, since that's more time in their college career for them to utilize it. And so they kind of just being a stand, being there, that in itself is a passive marketing scheme. A Speedy stand is a relatively low cost and low effort way to drastically increase revenue, further promote Speedy, and scale their reach. By being in a physical place in a very prime location and serving students there, they can definitely get their name out. And also, this furthers Speedy's mission of providing underserved areas like the food desert on South Campus services at odd but convenient hours. Some risks and their mitigation would be the biggest risk is getting approval or permit from housing and the campus authorities. But like what they can try to do is leverage their UNC network and ties, and also argue that they are providing a solution to the food desert problem, and also the fact that it's safer to go to them nearby as opposed to students from South Campus going all the way to Franklin. And so they really have a good argument there. And then CDS and housing are very aware of the food desert issue. This might also cannibalize their core delivery business, but a mitigation to that is that they offer only select items at the stand and encourage students to download the app and purchase the app. And so this also serves as another way of getting more people to download the app, and that ultimately is the goal. And also, people might just prefer to stick to vending machines, but the simple solution to that is offer more items in the vending machine.
So now we'll discuss how Speedy can actually implement these two strategies and how they connect to what we've discussed in BUSI 411. For the parcel return pickup service, there's 5 key steps that Speedy will need to take, starting with determining the details of the service, such as which carriers they will pick up parcels for. Secondly, they'll have to build and deploy an in-app feature so that users can request this pickup service. And afterwards, they'll have to figure out how to integrate the pickup service with their ongoing delivery routes, as well as train Speedy employees to be able to effectively and efficiently conduct the service. And finally, because this service deviates from Speedy's current offerings of food and item delivery, they'll have to heavily promote the parcel return pickup service. Though this deviates from Speedy's current offerings, we feel that it still fits in well with Speedy as a brand because of its core values. Speedy's core values include for students, by students, as well as the principles of speed, convenience, and affordability. Additionally, when thinking about Porter's generic strategies, implementing the parcel return pickup service helps Speedy solidify its differentiation focus strategy. Speedy's still limited in the types of products and services that it offers, therefore it has a narrower scope. However, this is a strategy that will set it apart from any competitors or even substitutes in the market, therefore establishing a differentiation focus strategy. Additionally, because it is kind of disrupting how people would go about returning packages, it connects to Dr. Friga's saying of innovate or die. Now let's talk about Speedy stands. So the biggest thing that Speedy will have to do in order to successfully execute on Speedy stands is to obtain permission from campus and housing authorities to be able to conduct for-profit selling at this intersection. After they have the go-ahead, they can go ahead and purchase stand materials, allocate employees to running the stand, and select which items they actually want to be selling and distributing at the Speedy stand. Finally, promotion will be needed for the Speedy stand as well, but not as much, given that it still aligns very closely with Speedy's current product portfolio, and it will be promoting itself physically at that intersection. We feel that Speedy stands pertains most closely to the marketing and sales primary activity in Speedy's value chain. Therefore, we conducted a value chain analysis, honing in specifically on this activity. We found that currently, Speedy's marketing and sales revolves largely around social media, word of mouth, and flyers around campus. And while this brings in value for Speedy because it helps promote the brand and bring in sales,
For students, it can often feel repetitive and irritating when they see the same advertisements and same stickers around campus all the time. So there is opportunity for value creation in this area to help solidify Speedy's product differentiation competitive advantage. Speedy Stand is a low effort, high return strategy that will help solidify Speedy as a convenience and low price point leader. Therefore, the entire value chain is strengthened and it brings in a higher profit for Speedy, better promotion for Speedy, and better overall value for customers. Thank you so much.